Well, happy 4th of July. 4th of July is obviously all about being independent, and I thought I would share my story, struggles, and triumphs of gaining my independence from two activities in life, eating and masturbating, which used to have me on a noose. So, I used to have a big problem. Not only would I binge eat, I often disappeared into my own little world when I was eating. And it caused a lot of anger issues when anybody would get in the way, right? I was working at a tech giant when I had an anger issue, actually. I was eating, and I was sitting in a cafeteria area, and somebody wanted to talk to me. Nothing offensive. He just wanted to say hello and tell me about what he was working on, and maybe to talk about the weather, whatever the case is, but he wouldn't stop, and I really wanted to get back to my food, and I really tried to show body language that please stop, and I took off my headphones and I smashed them on the floor. It smashed it into a million pieces. Now, I thought for sure I had lost my job. The story made its way back to the HR person. I spun a story about how I had just had a death in the family. Wasn't true, but I had to say something to this guy talking to me. I just wanted to commiserate, and this guy was talking to me, and the HR person suggested some things I could say in that situation, but I didn't have a death in the family, so what she suggested didn't even make a whole lot of sense, which is what was really funny about it. The real problem was I had an eating disorder. I didn't want to admit that, obviously. Now, 3 years ago, I had a girlfriend, and one day, I was getting ready to leave her home when she just kept having one last thing to say. And what should have been a 5-minute goodbye became more like an hour long, and I really wanted to get out of there to masturbate. And then I shouted some, like, I gotta go, and I didn't even give her an explanation. I pulled away, and I couldn't even drive home. I drove like 2 blocks away to masturbate. And unfortunately, those two stories were not uncommon for me just a few years or even a few months ago. I've had too many anger issues, too many interruptions to life from not being able to get to my food or masturbate. You see, I disappear into my own little world. I don't even like eating in public anymore because people don't realize that I'm in my own little world, and it causes tension. I might not get angry like that or lash out, but it just creates a lot of turbulence because people don't recognize that I'm trying to disappear for a second. I hate eating in public. One of the worst nightmares that I have to live all the time with is work-related events that revolve around food, right? Holiday parties, job interviews, saying goodbye to somebody who's resigning from a job and having one last meal with them. Those are nightmares for me because I like to disappear into my own little world when I'm eating. Not to mention, if we go to a restaurant, I have to bring up some dietary restrictions, and sometimes I don't want to tell everybody in the office that I have these restrictions, right? A public meal kind of forces me to do that. I really hate eating in public. When I travel, when I fly on an airplane, or I always try to fast when I'm flying because, again, I don't want to be intruded upon when I'm eating. Anyway, I thought I would point out how I've gained a lot of independence from those two activities, even though one of them is definitely essential. The other one I'm not so sure of. They could still be, well, actually, both of them I'm not so sure are essential. One of them I guarantee is not essential. The other one, we might find out someday, right? Anyway, happy 4th of July in the sense of independence for our country and in the sense of independence for one's own body.